Ball to an orthodox field for a start. Just a slip. There's a short cover. 3 other men on the offside saving the single. 3 on the on and deep backward square. First ball in Test cricket in England for Shane Warne. And he's done it. He started off with the most beautiful delivery.
What you been up to, Russ?
Fuck all, bro. Just been chilling today.
Chilling today?
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Chilling. I'm allowed to chill today. It's the daughter's birthday, so I can chill as much as I want.
Fuck, you getting me about getting my fucking arms out yesterday, and I was optimistic. You're in a fucking sickling on the podcast, cunt. Fuck, he was giving me. He was just. I mean, I wasn't much better. I was being just as cheeky, but he was being awfully cheeky to me yesterday.
He was
calling me fucking
cheeky.
Haircut. What a fuck handle. Did he get called fuck handle?
Fuck handle. Yep.
He's like, look at him. It's like, oh, you can't be a serious streamer getting your armpits out on stream. Oh, righto, Russ. Because all the other girls getting their tits out on stream, so much more different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's just gotta wait. He's just gotta wait till he sees us and he sees how much hair I've got compared to you.
Bro, you should see how much hair I got on my back.
No, I mean head. Just on my head. That's it.
Yeah, I just got
Just
fucking. I just got that fucking. All right, it's a pretty hipster haircut, but
that's what I got.
really, you got the fucking. I was just short underneath there as well.
Yeah, that's shorter than the rest.
You got like
That's all gonna get cut back.
fucking hell.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Put my hat back on.
I don't even know who I can compare your hair to. I was gonna
Hey.
say like a Wish version of Skrillex.
Which version of Skrillex?
All right, so this week's episode, we actually had recorded an episode already, but due to some events that come up yesterday and stuff like that, we've decided to do a bit of a different episode today. It mightn't be that long, might be a little longer, I'm not sure. We don't know how much we're going to dive into this, but it's going to be a sort of about cricket, but it's going to be about a particular person in cricket who passed away only 24 hours before this recording, who was a big influence on me for cricket, playing the sport, was one of my fucking heroes and idols, even to this day, still is. He passed away due to a heart attack. That's Shane Warne. So today's episode is going to be dedicated to him. We're just going to talk about him, what he's done for cricket, how much of a fucking good bloke he was, how much of a larrikin he was. Speak some stories about us growing up watching him, talk about his stats, how he is, and the greatest spinner of all time, leg spinner of all time, but even the greatest spinner of all time. So that's today's episode is going to be dedicated to that, and then next week we'll be going back to our original topic. But so that the Bulls, we'll dive into that more next week. So this week's all about Shane Keith Warne. Rest in peace. Our condolences for the family and everyone else involved. But it does kind of feels like you lost a mate. You're not sure why. You're like, I've never met him.
Yeah.
I've seen him throwing a wave. He didn't wave back. He did, but he waved to like a big group of people. So I don't think he waved to me particularly. But I mean, I grew up watching him bowl. I couldn't wait to. But he's one of the original people that I used to just watch 5 days of cricket just to watch him bowl. You'd want to be there on the 5th day of the test to watch Shane Warne win the game. You know what I mean? Like, it was just that shit. He's just a genius at cricket and a larrikin. Like, there's your Steve Smiths and stuff that just live, breathe cricket, and he lives, breathes cricket, but wasn't the most particularly normal professional athlete.
Yeah.
His durries, loved to have. What was his prep? What did he eat for a game? Pies, chips, and baked beans.
Yeah.
I think that's
Lovely
that's
city.
his lunch or something. He's like pie, chips, baked beans,
Yeah.
with a ciggy and an ice break or something like that, or iced coffee. Just, just peak fucking physical performance. He like sometimes he looked super buff and sometimes he look a bit chub because he'd go from one extreme to the next.
Yeah, you could just see there was just times there where he just didn't give a fuck. He knew he was the best, and he just come out and was just himself.
It wasn't even that he don't give.
best.
That's the one thing I don't want anyone to forget. Like, he was the best, even though he was the larrikin and probably got on the piss and had his like off field disputes with girls and stuff like that. You know, hooking up with heaps of birds, and he's a very good family man still. He was always there for his family when they needed it, and he was always a trainer. Always at the game.
Yep.
And when he was out there, he'd give it his all. There could be having sex with fucking 20 girls or playing a game of cricket, he'd still go play a game of cricket. You know what I mean? Like, everything else was a side note to him playing cricket and his family. Obviously, his wife doesn't think the same. His wife at the time didn't think the same thing, but he loves his fucking kids. What a man. What a dude. It's weird. It's not one of those things that, like, it's a famous person, like, you know, every summer you'd watch him on TV talk and commentate, and then you listen to everything he had to say about where the game's changing or what they should do this game. And then, like, even before that, I grew up just watching him bowl like as often as I could. And every week, I reckon, for the last, ever since YouTube's been involved and Robbie Linda too has been putting videos up on fucking YouTube, I've been watching Shane Warne highlights. I think we owned the DVD. It was like Shane Warne's best ever wickets. It was like he did like a top 50 countdown of all his wickets and had all that. I had his little spin king ball. I had fucking everything. Shane Warne was my man. Shane Warne, the man. Was he big around for you too, sort of thing? You're a little bit younger than me. Not ridiculously.
So he was still around when I was getting into cricket. So he retired in 2007. So I was in grade 7 in 2007. I was playing cricket. I was playing cricket for the primary school and like Friday afternoon sports, playing in a school sport with other schools, playing cricket. It was either cricket or something else. And I was like, I'll go to cricket. Tried that out and absolutely fell in love with it. Started watching some cricket and just fell in love with the game of cricket itself and the people that it produced. And that's like Warney is one of the icons that cricket has produced. Like you can't say he's not an icon with the amount of stuff that he's done for cricket itself, not just for the leg spin, but for cricket.
Yeah, he's
like,
just...
So he brought leg spin back as one of the big main deals when he first blew onto the stage, was because everyone thought leg spin was a dying art. There was no one going to be the best next leg spinner, all of that type of thing. And then he come in and he's like, I'm going to be the king. I'm going to be the best. Yeah,
I'm not sure why that was. It's one of those, I guess you're right. Like, it's not something I really took into consideration. Like, I thought there was always leg spinners and they're just not crafted enough. So there's too many bad balls in between. While an off spinner can sort of put it on the spot a little bit more. So you're probably right there. But yeah, he did make it a very, like, you're right, like a much more mainstream thing. Everyone wanted to try bowl like fucking Warney. Steve Smith come onto the scene and he walked in exactly like Warney.
Yep.
Exactly like
Warney.
Warney would have been in the team training these cunts too. Like, you know what I mean? Any leg spinner that's come around in the world, I'm pretty sure Warney's, like any big time one in the last 10 years, Warney's had something to do with.
Yeah, so
especially in Australian cricket.
There's footage of Steve Smith walking up to Warney and saying, hey, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? And Warney's like, come over here, we'll sit over here for an hour and we'll just bowl every single ball that you've got. Yeah. We'll just keep bowling it until you're happy with it. And like, he even pulled Rashid Khan aside, the number 1 T20 bowler in the world, pulled him aside and said, hey, how about you do this? You know, this might get you a bit more extra bounce, a bit more turn, all of that. very next game, he went out and did it and got fucking 3 wickets or something just off that one ball that Warney said, try it like this. Like,
he's just ridiculous. And like the way he like can read someone's game and read the game and stuff like that. Like he should have been more of a captain, I guess. But I guess there's something to do with the fact that he's a perfect vice captain. He shouldn't be the captain, but he's the perfect vice captain, you know, for a test side. Like he's the perfect vice captain behind a Ricky Ponting or a Stephen Waugh or he didn't, those two. Alan Border as well. Sorry,
Ian Healy.
Healy wasn't captain, was he?
Healy was captain. I'm pretty sure he was captain for a little while.
Oh, it wouldn't have been very fucking long. I'm pretty sure it went Border War, didn't it? Border War, Ponting, Clark, Smith, Payne, Cummins. Isn't that random? Isn't that a weird thing that like I can name all the fucking previous test captains to like 1980, but I can't recall like half our fucking politicians?
Yeah, so he was Healy was ODI captain.
Priorities.
Yeah. So Healy was an ODI captain. That was it.
Yeah. See, like that's the thing. Like you can be an ODI captain and we'll remember you and stuff like that, but you're not test captain. Test captain is still like the second highest status in Australia, one being fucking prime minister. But even then, probably at the moment, it's probably more the test captain. I'm pretty sure people like Pat Cummins more than they like Scott Morrison.
Right now, yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
I think ever. I think even like ScoMo's kids are probably like, kind of wish Pat Cummins was me dad.
Yeah. I wish Camo was me dad.
I wish Cummins was my dad. I love my dad, and I still wish Cummins was my dad.
Yeah, indeed. But see, like I was at the in-laws' house today, and we sat down. The father-in-law's a big fucking cricket nut as well. We were talking about it, and while we were talking about it, we were watching Fox Sports and the Remembering Shane Warne.
Yeah,
their special come on. And they got Ian Healy on, and they were talking about like how easy was it for Ian Healy to pick Shane Warne coming in, and he said, "Easiest thing I've ever done is I can pick Shane Warne because everyone knows what ball he's going to put down, when and where and why, what ball it is. The problem is it's all a mental game with Warney. He'll set you up for that ball. You'll know it's coming. You just don't know how it's going to come to you." And that's one of the big things that a lot of people that played with Warney said about him is he can set a batsman up for the fall of a wicket. And once that one falls, he can just create the crumble. If he starts the fall, those pace bowlers are coming in right behind him and just helping him take the wickets.
That's not to take anything away from Warney. Warney is and probably will be the best test bowler of all time. Like I understand Mutai Muralitharan's in there, but for me personally, he played way too many Asia tests and played way too many tests a year in his career. So it super inflated his stats. Like he's a fucking particularly good bowler, but I feel like his stats are a little bit inflated. So I tend not to count him so much. Also very biased because I am Australian and I fucking love Warney. But you know, he's a fucking best fucking leg bowler of all time. Like not just pace or leg spin, and best bowler of all time. Cunt's ridiculous. He bowled leg spin. Particularly, if you don't get it right, it's very cartable. Leg spin is very cartable because it's either way too full or way too short. He finished with an average of 25, with a strike rate of 57, and took 708 wickets in 145 matches. Like that's just unfucking believable.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Yep.
His ODI stats are fucking ridiculous too. It's average.
His ODIs. Yep. He averaged 25 from List A cricket all the way to Test cricket. So first class was average of 26.1, so just over 25. Then he went to 25.7 and then 25.4. Like that is unreal.
Like if you go like Nathan Lyon, for example, who averages 31 in tests. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of other leg spinners sort of thing. I know Kumble. He averaged 29. Who's that fuckwit? Ashwin.
Ravi Ashwin.
I think his stats are pretty good. 26. You know, he'd say he's probably up there, one of the better fucking spin bowlers in the world at the moment, even though he only plays in fucking India. You know, average is 26, strike rate 54. Still pretty much the same, really. Fuck, his ODI stats are unreal. 16, the averages.
Yeah.
Strike rate of 87, though. Fuck, that's a lot. That's a high strike rate.
Yeah.
That's stupidly high. What's Rashid Khan's? I wonder. Sorry, we are divulging here, but it wouldn't be the Beer and the Birds podcast if we didn't like go on a tangent here and there.
Exactly.
He doesn't have his strike rate there. But yeah, fuck. I don't. Sometimes I'm just lost for words. Like it's fucking Warney, bro. I fucking love that cunt. See, Rashid Khan's strike rate is 26 in ODIs.
Rashid Khan's average is 18.5 in ODIs, 22.3 in Test matches.
He's a fucking. It's lunacy. This cunt bowls, bro.
Mind you, he's only played 5 Test matches.
Yeah, and against fucking
Warney's 145.
Yeah,
so
like against Zimbabwe and shit like that. That really fucking But world's youngest captain.
Who's that? Rashid Khan.
Yeah, he was captain at 20 for the Afghanistan side. Yep. He's only 23, bro. He's 1998, cunt.
He's got his heart. He is already in his prime, and he's got his prime years coming. Like,
yeah, well, like they reckon you don't bowl your best balls until you're 27 to 32, sort of thing. So I'm in my prime for my bowling.
And like, have a look at what Rashid Khan's already putting down. It's just unreal.
Yeah, he's gonna be ridiculous. Bowling style, leg break, googly. You can't be both.
Well, his googly is his stock ball. That's the funny thing about Rashid Khan.
Yeah, my old man, when he bowls leg spin, always bowls a wrongin.
Yeah, his wrongin's the stock ball. It's his leg break.
I've tried. I can't do the Warney style, bro. I can't do. So Warney, you can't see it in fucking. You won't see this on the Spotify, but his arms comes at more of like a 45-degree angle, 45 to 50-degree angle from perpendicular sort of thing. When I try bowl it, my hand comes right up near my head. I come like over like that sort of thing. I come way too close to my head sort of thing. So it sort of is always a top end. It really loops and dips.
Yeah.
But Warney can get that because he comes on the side and he opens it like a fucking door handle.
That's what he says. You open it like a door handle. Do you watch any of his masterclasses?
Oh, bro, I love watching his masterclasses, man. That one where he'd retired and he's in his suit and he's like doing a masterclass and he takes 2 steps, goes and he goes down and it fucking turns a mile. I'm like, oh my God. Even like, who was it? There's the Pommy commentator. He's just like, why are you still not playing? No, it's the other dickhead. I don't even know if he played cricket, the other fella I'm thinking of. I can't think of his fucking name, bro.
They had one with him over in England, and Andrew Strauss and Nasser Hassan were there. So there was a left-hand, right-handed batsman, and they said to Warney, how do you set up a right-handed batsman to get him out bowled off stump, all of that? And he's like, all right, well, this is what I'll do. And he threw the ball down a couple of times to Andrew Strauss, because Andrew Strauss is Nasser's the right-hander, Andrew Strauss is the lefty. Nat threw it down to Nasser a couple of times and just sitting right on leg stump, bang, 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 and he goes, and then I'll follow up with a couple just outside leg stump, and followed a couple outside, and Nasser's just sitting there, just padding it away, and he said, I'm just going to fire one deep onto his toes. And they're like, what? Deep onto his toes, just put the flipper in. His little flipper, where he says it's just like clicking your fingernails.
Yeah, that's I wish I had a cricket ball here.
Yeah,
I can use my cooler here, sort of thing. Like his flipper, like he's showing everyone how to do it, sort of thing. He actually spins it with his fingers, sort of thing, and just goes
with his fingers. Yep.
and goes,
Yeah.
and just clicks it out, sort of thing. It's crazy.
He just
very similar to
throw one straight in there.
Uraman, Mujib Uraman.
Mujib, yep.
He's an off spinner. His current ball, he clicks out of his hands. Yeah. No, he clicks out of his hands as well. He clicks it, but it's the opposite way. He goes and clicks it out like that.
Yeah, it's like
flick.
a reverse
he's a flick. Actually, he's a flick or something like that.
Flicker.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he just threw. He just I'm just going to fire one straight in at his toes now, and let's see what it does. Just fight it straight in. Just turn
Warney's
a mile and hit the top of
Warney, the Sheik of Tweak.
Yep, and the king.
I don't remember fucking him called the Sheik of Tweak.
The Sheik of Tweak. I've heard him as the goat.
So they changed one of the stands. They've changed one of the stands at the MCG to the SK Warne. What did I say?
No, you said that right. I was agreeing with you. MCG.
Oh, okay, yeah. To the SK Warne stand. So when I was younger, like 22, 23.
Yeah.
I went down to Melbourne and went down for a music festival, Soundwave Music Festival, where I saw like Metallica, Linkin Park, Perfect Circle, Death Urbana, list goes on, Periphery. When we're down there, we're like, okay, we're going to go to the MCG. I know there's no cricket on. There wasn't any games on. Let's go. And we went out there because the Australian Sporting Museum's there as well. And there's also a cricket museum. And at the time was a Shane Warne exhibit. And we went there to see the Shane Warne exhibit, which was you could go down and you could pretend, you could like see from like the umpire's angle or something like that, like the ball come out and spin like Warney sort of thing. Yeah. And like in the room there, you could sit down. There was like a couple of chairs and it just played Warney's. You'd go in there and it's like this. It would sort of look like the room was set up, but like a hologram version of Warney would come out and he'd talk about like his top 10 balls. He'd be like, and this ball here, I did this. And him sitting there flicking it like that because it's specifically recorded for the museum. So you can't get this on tape anywhere else. Like it was specifically recorded for that. And then like, obviously it'd bring up the footage, but like, I remember we sat down, we watched that. We watched it. I think we went around and we went, do you want to watch it again? I'm like, yeah. And we went down, we sat down and watched the top 10 again. Like, that's how much we love it. Like, I watch these highlights every week. I can't think of a time where I haven't watched these highlights. Like, I watch cricket highlights all the time. And it's usually like the same few cunts, to be honest. And this is like a new one or something like that. So it's like AB de Villiers, SK Warne, Glenn McGrath, bit of Ricky Ponting, maybe. Yeah. More AB de Villiers. Like when it comes to batting, there's no one more excited, more enjoyable to watch than AB de Villiers. I'm sorry. Yeah,
exactly.
Name something. There's no one better. Like that you can grind out an innings. There's something impressively, like something amazing to watch. Like fucking AB de Villiers hit 100 or 40 or something like that. But Hashim Amla's on 130 at the other end. He comes in with 9 overs to go on a one day and then hits a ton. Like it's fucked. Yeah. He's ridiculous. Cheers, Warney. What I mean, like this is one example of like we went and we saw fucking Shane Warne's bag of green. Like that's why he didn't have it. That's why he sold it away to the fires, stuff like that. It was at the fucking museum.
Yeah.
Like we saw his baggy green. We saw all these fucking gear and stuff like that. And then we watched all these fucking dismissals all the time, listening like, towards the end there, we're sort of arguing with him a little bit on like as a commentator because his views were a little bit different. It's because someone nailed it. He plays cricket. He always played cricket like he was a country cricketer.
Yeah.
Or county cricketer. You know, having a beer after the game and rocking up a little hungover and let's play some cricket today, fucking pumping a dart, you know what I mean? Like that was Warney, but he also commentated like a supporter. He would sit there and like it didn't fucking matter who it was. You know, if there was a suit like it's like, David Warner's on 99. He's never been out in the 90s before. And like Warney was blow his mind because he's like superstitious, like a normal cricketer. He's like,
Mark Nichols said it.
That's the bloke that's talking about before.
Mark Nichols said it. He's just like, Mark, he's like, why?
And then he gets out. He goes, "Oh my god!"
I told you. I told you.
What's wrong with this guy? Why would you say that?
Get him out.
Shit like that. Like he commentated like a supporter. Like, so sometimes his views were super fucking radical because it's like some cunt sitting there going, "Why don't you just bowl like this? You know, why don't you just thought he's like, why don't they make it fucking T10? They're gonna do T20. Why don't they make it 100 ball game?" Yeah. And people were like, "That's fucking lunacy," and then they make a 100 ball game. You know what I mean? Like some of the things you're saying, you're like, "That's fucking stupid. Don't think like that. You ruin the game." He didn't want to change Test cricket too much, to be honest. He still liked that one the best.
I think he had a bit of a laugh with the last Test, like with the last Ashes series. Him all the way leading up to the Ashes series saying, you know, don't bowl Mitchell Starc. He should be in the squad. He's not swinging the ball, rah, rah. And even he turned around and said that he had to eat his words and, you know, good job, mate. Good job. Like Mitchell Starc's first ball come out, just woofka, boom. And he like, they even cut to Warney and Warney's just like, "Oh shit. Okay. Yep. Good job, mate. Yep. You proved me wrong." Like, holy shit.
He wasn't never afraid to fucking admit that he was at fault.
No, but he was never afraid to put his view across either, which was something I liked about him as well.
Yeah, no, he's amazing, eh? Just
yeah.
I've never seen anyone spin the ball the fucking that much, bro.
Yes. The thing that pissed me off, I saw it today. It was Ian Chappell. Ian Chappell was talking about it. Was he talking about them? No. Sorry. Yeah, no. It's with that whole group. So when Warney retired, when Warney retired, he retired with 3 other people.
Yeah.
McGrath, Langer, and Damien Martin all retired at the same time. And Ian Chappell turned around and said, like, "Okay, Cricket Australia's had some issues with Justin Langer, rah. I don't know what Ian Chappell's own personal fucking."
He said he always thought
with fucking.
Yeah, he said, "I wouldn't have even pictured in the side. Damien Martin's way better than you."
Yeah, but then he turned around and said Justin Langer's was smart because he retired the same time that Glenn McGrath and Shane Warne did. Mind you, I think they spoke about it. Warney and Glenn McGrath both spoke about it, and they turned around and said they were playing in England. They knew it was going to be their last Ashes series over there, but didn't want to tell anyone. And they made the deal that if they get picked for the next Ashes side, that's going to be their last. No matter when it is, where if it has to be in Australia, it has to be their last. No matter if they go out, get thumped 4-1, or they they go out and win 5-0 whitewash. They don't care. That was going to be their last match, and it's the type of thing that he did for a lot of people as a fan of cricket, especially Australian cricket. Is he made it his decision that, I'm getting old. I know I'm getting old. No one knew that was going to be his last Test series over in England. Not last Ashes.
Glenn McGrath got injured or something like that, didn't he?
Glenn McGrath got injured, yeah.
So he announced it, and then he announced it. It was like at the 3rd match, and then the other 2 pretty much went, "Oh well, if he's announcing it now, we're gonna fucking announce it now too." You know what I mean?
We'll announce it now. Yeah, exactly right. But him and Pidge already said that they're gonna go out together.
Yeah, I mean, it's always rough when they talk about Justin Langer like that. I mean, I grew up fucking loving Justin Langer, so I have 0 against him at all, and I think he was at a great edit. When they said Justin Langer is going to be coach of Australia, I went, "Oh, sweet," you know?
Yeah.
I think we sort of said the same thing about Lehman, but Lehman, let's be honest, was fucking rubbish.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Kevy Walters of cricket coaching. To be discussed in 2 weeks' time on the NRL podcast, where I slag on fucking Kevin Walters being the world's worst fucking NRL coach.
I'll just slag on the Broncos, but okay.
He's such a shit coach. But yeah, Warney was a coach of a few sides too, wasn't he? Of the 220 a couple of T20 sides, yeah.
He was captain of
Royals.
Captain of the Royals. Then he came in as the mentor for the Royals after he retired from all formats cricket. But he was also a coach for the inaugural 100, I think it was.
Yeah, he was
So
coach for one of
100
those teams.
series.
So he wasn't a coach for the other ones though.
I don't think he was a coach. I think he was just a mentor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's a mentor to
So,
fucking heaps of sides. He's a mentor for our side. Like, that's what I mean. I still want to see Mitch Swepson come out and play because I'm pretty sure fucking Warney had the bit to do with Swepo's fucking action and stuff.
Yeah. See, the thing, it brought me fucking tears. It actually probably almost brought me to tears today. Was actually Ricky Ponting doing an interview about Shane Warne and them changing the grandstand in the MCG for Shane Warne.
Yeah.
And Ricky Ponting turned around and said, that's one of the best things that can ever happen to someone as great as he was. As as a cricketer, you would always love to have a stand named after you.
Yeah.
And then he choked up. He couldn't say anything else. He was, you saw he was crying.
Yeah.
Like, that's his boy.
Yeah, Ricky Ponting Ricky Ponting doesn't emote very often.
No, and for Ricky Ponting to break down and cry, Gilly was crying, Healy was crying.
Yeah, I saw the Gilly one. That was fucked.
Oh,
I didn't enjoy that.
Gilly put it in a good perspective in that.
Watching Gilly talk about Rod Marsh was fucked.
Yeah, but Gilly got hit twice in 2 days.
Oh, they all did. Rod Marsh. Yeah. Let's be honest. We're talking about Shane Warne. Rod Marsh also passed away. Rod Marsh is very much before my time. Yeah. Like, he's even slightly before my dad's time, even to a certain point. But he would have grown up watching a bit of Rod Marsh, at least, like Dennis Lilly and stuff like that. And
Court Lily, Bold Lily, Court Marsh.
Yeah,
that's what always used to ring around.
Like in Australia, there's the Rod Marsh Academy, which is like a very big cricketing academy, which he started himself. Blah blah blah. Which he also took to, I want to say, England, and was a mentor in the Indian one as well, which is done by Brett Lee and Glenn McGrath, I think. I could be wrong on a lot of those. Happy to be fucking corrected. But yeah, like, Rod Marsh did so much for cricket after he'd retired as well. Like, he was so influential to everyone that's gone through like the top tier cricket, even like to the bottom. I heard a story. Ian Healy was telling a story. Was it Ian Healy? No, maybe it wasn't. If someone was telling a story about helping Rod Marsh with Glenn McGrath. Glenn McGrath come to the Rod Marsh Academy, and like he just loved Glenn McGrath. He thought he was the best thing ever. And there was one time that the bus, one of the academy buses, was sped past him, got like 160 zone. And he goes, "Whoever's driving that bus better pack their bags and go home." And he pulls up, they pull up the lights next to it, and it's fucking Glenn McGrath driving it. And Rod Marsh goes to yell, and he goes, "How about you just slow it down next time, hey?" Thank fuck. Can you imagine if he made him quit? We might not have ever seen Glenn McGrath.
Exactly.
Fuck.
But
that's Rod Marsh's eye for talent, though, as well, by the way. Rod Marsh could find a good talent. So sometimes when you saw a play, like, why are they sticking with this? It's probably Rod Marsh saying, "No, this cunt's got it. You just got to stick with him." I do wonder what he felt about fucking Marnus Labuschagne. I wonder if he was someone who influenced the picking of Marnus Labuschagne to begin with. Yeah. Something that they saw in him, his determination or grind. Or
wasn't Rod Marsh on the selectors bench when he first got selected?
I assume so. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he was. So. I'm pretty sure he was when he got selected the first time. And it's like, I'm pretty sure he was.
So did George Bailey take Rod Marsh's selection spot? Is that right?
I think that's the way it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, like, to be honest, there would have been a period of time. If you went away from commentary or something like that, there would have probably been a period of time where Warney would have been very much involved again within the coaching of Australia, but probably more into the fact he probably would have nearly become a selector. He always had a very, very strong point of view on who should be in the side and stuff like that. He did.
Yeah.
Stark would be fucking shit out of luck, but
yeah.
But I think he also said to himself, is like, there's a reason why I'm not the selector. Like they obviously know what's going on. I just think this person should go in because I think that, he's a very strong-minded person when it comes to like selections and stuff. And like, there's always a certain party that's like, maybe he's right. It is Warney. He probably does know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, he's fucking
Like,
he was awesome.
What like compensated for him not being a selector was he was on the board of rule changes for the ICC. Warney
Who?
was.
Oh, really?
Warney. Yeah, he was on the board of rule changes for ICC. So it was a bit, he was up there. He was in the cricketing world. He was up there. And like, I'm sorry to keep harping back onto it, but I just haven't finished it at the moment. Like what I was trying to say about Gilly talking about Warney, and he said it perfect because he turned around and he said he felt like they had the best seats in the house. Him and Healy, he robbed Australia of the best seats in the house of watching Warney bowl because they were right behind the stumps there. They were watching him every ball come down, and he just said like it was one of the best things in Gilly's career was to be there when Warney was bowling.
Yeah, I like the remembrance of that ball. So the ball of the century. So
the ball of the
his
century.
First ball he ever bowled in England was the ball of the century. He bowled Mike Gadding.
Yeah.
And Alan Border was talking about it because he's captain at the time. He goes, he came out, he bowled, and he got him out. I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, that would have been a good ball. He didn't really think more of it at the time. He didn't think he just bowled the best ball ever to be bowled. Yeah. And he comes, it wasn't like till a couple of overs later, like an over later or something like that. He's talking to Healy. He goes, oh, so how good was that ball? And Healy went, mate, that's probably, he said, he couldn't have put it in a better spot. It couldn't have done anything better. It's probably the best ball I've ever seen.
Yeah.
and then it cuts to Ian Healy talking about it now. He goes, it drifted just enough. It fell just short enough. It turned just enough. It hit
the right spot, did exactly what it needed.
Didn't go just far enough, and it hit, and it perfectly hit the top off. He said, "Is the perfect ball."
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that's
just.
I still watch it now. It still gives me goosebumps watching it. It's like, that's a fucking good ball. There's only a few things that like, a few sporting highlights that give you like goosebumps every time you watch it. You're just like, oh, bro, that's my. For me, it's like Warney's that ball of the century.
Yeah.
The other one's the on the buzzer try, Cole Felt try by the Cowboys Broncos final. Yep. I'm sorry if you're an NRL supporter at all and you're not a Broncos supporter, that is awesome. I watch it now. I can still watch it now.
If you're a Queenslander and support any other team other than the Broncos and the Cowboys, that was the best try.
And it's the reaction of Sterling. I was like, yeah, he's got it. So good. Yeah. I mean, when he was this ball of century, it's like, oh, that's a beauty. It's absolutely got him. What a ball that is. It wasn't like a big hype up, like some things in cricket don't get the hype up. But he sort of just, because it was his first ball and he just, and the way Warney sort of just meandered in and sort of bowled it, sort of thing, and just spun and perfect. So I was like, there's balls later on that he bowls that is ridiculous, and they're like, and it's like a massive reaction because now they know that this cunt's awesome. Yeah. At that stage, there he's still, I think he'd been out of the side and back into the side, or something like that too. And what a ball!
There was a couple. I was watching one, and it was like, imagine if you were the mind of Shane Warne, and I was like, okay, I'll sit here and watch this now. And he's bowling this ball down. I think it was over in England. It was against England for the Ashes. And he was just putting this ball probably half a foot outside off. So, fairway outside leg, outside leg. And all the batter's doing is just advancing and just pushing it to the ground. And you can see Warney just turn around and say, all right, so he's playing it there. If it nicks, it's going there. Put a fielder there. So put the fielder right at bat pad and right at like silly off there. Silly.
Yeah, silly mid off.
Silly mid off right there. Silly point, sorry. Right at silly point.
Silly point, yep.
Yep. And like the silly point, he was there and he bowled a couple more. Overs changed over. He kept bowling it there with the silly point there and then went, nah, let's get rid of him now. He's not playing that ball. Get rid of him. So he got rid of, but kept the bat pad there.
Yeah.
the exact same ball straight after moving silly point. He played for the ball, nicked it top edge, straight to the bat pad. And you could just see that he was leading up to that, and they're just like, you could see that that's what he was wanting to do, because he was telling that the wicket keeper, like, just watch out, there's going to come this side, it's always going to come.
I think that's what it was, is like, and this is, it doesn't, like, it's just gonna sound a little, I don't know, not misogynistic, I don't know if that's the right word or not, but like, he was very smart. Like, he could play, but not just smart in that way. He could play someone else's mind. Like he said, like, he was telling you how it was going, and then you'd still do it. You'd still go, and fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's the same thing why, like, he got so many women and stuff like that too. He had the gift of the gab of that another person's mind. Like, he could just read someone so perfectly, and read him into a mistake, or read him into, like, hey, come with me. You know what I mean? Like, he just so charismatic, and not just charismatic, like, he's charismatic and smart, and not, I don't want to say manipulative, not that, like, encouraging is probably the word. Is like, he's encouraging. He's very encouraging. Yeah, play this, go on, play this. He played it. You know what I mean? Like, he was just a wizard, a fucking master. He was the fucking king. He's the king of spin.
Yeah.
He's the king of cricket. Like, he was fucking unreal. Like, and that's what I mean. Like, for as long, I've loved cricket for as long as I fucking remember. I was playing Milo cricket when I was 4 years fucking old. My dad loves cricket. We still, if there's a game of test cricket, I ring my dad every fucking day after the test. We talk about what happened in the test, even though we didn't get to watch it. We'll just listen on the radio, whatever it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I grew up watching every fucking ball from Shane Warne as long as I can remember. Obviously, there's times where I was too fucking young to remember it all, but from what I can remember, I watched a lot. And it wasn't sitting back casually watching. You were on the fucking edge of your seat right there. Your ass was just fucking on the seat. You're like, every ball was.
It was always something with him. It was always a chance.
Oh, mate, carted him for the biggest six in the world. You're like, oh, nearly got him. You know what I mean? Like, just every ball was, oh my God, can we, like, he was just amazing. And then he got into commentary, and he just went, whoosh, slipped straight in. You know, he was just perfect. You didn't argue it. You're like, great, I'm fucking glad Warney's there, because Warney was so smart. He was so good at the game. He was the best spinner of all time.
Yeah. And I think he slipped in well, especially with the Fox Cricket's side, with like Kerry O'Keefe with Skull. Him and Skull with their back and forward. I fucking love Skull, like, can't I? I think that's why he slipped in so well with the Fox Cricket side, was because Kerry was there. And, Kerry.
Well, Skull only just can't. Jokes. So Warney had done ABC Cricket with Skull. So if anyone who listens to the Grandstand, ABC Grandstand, for years, Kerry O'Keefe was on that. Yeah. And he was awesome on that. Now, Grandstand's good, and you still get good people on there, but you have to deal with Chappelle a lot of the time, which is a bit annoying. But Kerry O'Keefe was on that as well. And Shane Warne used to come do that on there as well. Like, he'd do a day there as well. Yeah, he was good. He's fucking such a good commentator. And it's always blows my mind that he got 708 wickets, yet he had a year off because of a drug ban, which his mum gave him the wrong medication for gave him some of her medication, whatever it was, for a cold. And it was a banned substance or something like that. And then he was out for a year. Fuck me. Only Warney. Only fucking the best bowler in the world, which gave Stuart McGill a slight chance to bowl for Australia for a little bit, who, let's be honest, if Shane Warne wasn't there, we'd be talking the same fucking vein. Stewie McGill's a fucking good bowler. He was a really, really good spin bowler. But
he was no Shane Warne.
Faster, slightly flatter, but could spin it just as far.
Yeah, but he was no Shane Warne. Like,
no, Shane Warne has had it all. He's so charismatic. Yeah. He's such a larrikin. Like, it was one thing, like we're saying, like, he played cricket like a country player. Like, there's that one particular couple of recordings where he's got the wicket and he's dancing when they got the win, and then he's sculling from a wine bottle and with a diary hanging out the other hand. Like, what a man. He just was, that's just fucking Warney. That's Warney. That's just who he is.
Yeah.
He was the classic Australian larrikin who was just awesome at sport. He was just awesome at fucking leg spin and could read the game so perfectly. He could bat not half bad either, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a great little bat, actually. What did he end up? What was his batting stats at the end?
Batting average was 17.3.
That's pretty trash.
Well, what was he? He was a
he's a
number
bowler.
10 or 11. Yeah, but
he would have come in at
11.
7 or he would have come in at 7 or 8. I would have thought, or 8 or something like that. 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 8. He'd have been 8. Thought he's a bit
Top
better
score
than
at
that.
99 though.
Oh man, I actually weirdly remember that game. That's the game I remember. Him fucking getting out of 99.
He's had 12 50s as well. Like,
that's the weird thing. He could actually bat. He wasn't like he couldn't not bat. But like, there's definitely bowlers now that are much fucking better batters than he was, sort of thing. And like at the time, we thought he was a particularly good batter for a bowler, sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, curious to see what fucking
37 5-wicket innings.
I'm curious to see what Mitchell Stark's batting average is. 23.
24.
Yeah.
Well, I was close.
His high score is 99 as well.
Yeah.
His bowling average is nowhere near on fucking nowhere near Warney's though.
No.
Except his strike rate's phenomenal. No one ever remembers. No one ever looks at that. It's just like strike rate's 49, cunt. That's fucking good.
How's this for a win percentage as captain for Shane Warne? 100%. So Warney was captain for the ODI squad for 11 matches. Yeah. He lost 1. 90.91%.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but see, this is one of those things. It's a argument that will go on for the dawn of time. We'll be a little skip there. Apologies. Like I was saying, the one thing there's always the argument at that stage there where Warney was playing was that it was possibly some of the best cricket side of all time. Like he made it. Like Warney was one of the reasons why it was the best cricket side of all time. But like, you know, you're saying like his win percentage is like, fuck, dude. Anyone's win percentage is that high when you got cunts like that in his team. When you got like fucking Brett Lee, Glenn McGrath, Jason Gillespie, Adam Gilchrist, fucking Ricky Ponting. I don't even know when he was captaining. I don't know who was in between there. Mark Waugh, fucking
Mark Taylor.
Tubby would have been captain there. Oh, Tubby Taylor was in there as well. I skipped him and said Steve Waugh. It's Tubby Border Taylor Waugh. You know, I mean, like all these ridiculous Martin fucking who was that dude? Michael Bevan. You know, and the test side they had like fucking Ponting, Clark, Hayden, Langer, Damian Martin, Gilchrist. Like, dude, they're like some of the best cricket players of all time. All on the same side. All in the same fucking cricket side. Like, you were never going to beat those cunts. Like, they were peak. Bro, peak. Even when Warney first came in, he was captained by Alan Border, who was at the time one of the best left-handed batsmen ever to have lived. Finished with an average of 55 or 50, maybe it might have been 50. Sorry, 13 hit 11,000 runs. Fuck me. Can't get hit runs. Hit runs for fun. He's like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Hit runs for fun.
Oh, don't throw the ball to him. He can't bowl. He can't throw.
Yeah, I mean, Warney will go. Warney will be ever immortalized, not only just because it's the Warney stand, but like he'll be able. When they look at stats, his name will always be there. There's not going to be a time that cunt's name's going to ever be surpassed. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he will always be there. They'll always talk about him being the best spinner of all time. You can say Rashid Khan's a great leg spinner. You can say in 20 years, they're going to be like, this cunt's the. They're going to say, this is the best leg spinner we've seen since Shane Warne. They're going to say that forever. You know, for example, in the same vein as Donald Bradman, it's going to be the same vein that Shane Warne sits in, you know, when it comes to leg spin bowling or bowling in general. It's like, oh, Steve Smith's, you know, stats are that good. You know, we haven't seen stats like this. The only person who's got better stats than this is Don Bradman.
Yeah,
they're going to be like, oh, we haven't seen a leg spinner bowl as good as this since Shane Warne.
Yeah,
Forever it's going to be like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's Shane fucking Warne. And the fact that he was, just a larrikin as fuck, it just cracks me up, dude. Like the fact that there was like this video of him getting around where he's in a room with two chicks. Like cricket players don't do that.
Nah.
But this cunt did, and he got away with it. Like everyone had a bit of but for the most part, everyone was like, Warney, Warney, bowling Shane. You know what I mean?
Not just that. There was like photos and videos of like his rooms and apartments of when he was like on tour and shit. And it's like there was so many mirrors, and you're like, why did he need all those mirrors? And then you look up at the roof. There's one photo of up on the roof, and there's a mirror on the roof above the bed. It's like, why does he need a mirror? But it's like, it's Warney. Why not?
Were you telling me or something like that like he was staying in a room with Mark Taylor or something like that way back when? Not even Mark Taylor. It might have been Ricky Ponting. And like the amount of girls that would come in every night.
Nah.
It was like he said, like there'd be 10 girls that come in, and he'd go through all 10 of them, and it still wouldn't be enough for Warney.
I've heard like stories from like other cricketers and that about Warney. Like he could be up at like stay up till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, go to bed, wake up at fucking 6 o'clock, go down for breakfast and all that, and then have a full day of cricket in him. It's like,
yeah,
wow.
But like I play cricket like that. For ages, that's how I played cricket. Yeah. We'd be at the fucking pub till fuck knows what time in the morning, and we'd be all like, fuck, dude, we got cricket in the morning. And you turn around, there's me fucking cricket captain standing there going, hey, bro, guess who's fucking bowling first, can't you? You know, like it'd be our whole fucking team would be out like, oh, fuck, we're going to be ratchet tomorrow. You know, like that's how we played cricket. Like, and he had that about him. Like, we fucking never missed it. We always are training. We never missed a fucking ball. Yeah, we'd be sore, but who cares? We're still there. We still put in our fucking all. Even when you vomited.
It wasn't just him up drinking all night. It was him partying with Sheila's, like cooking up and shit till 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
He loved it. He loved it.
Yeah.
What a man.
It's just like, wow. What a man. What's the stamina on that bloke?
Yeah, he must be able to go. I guess that's why he bowls so good. He has no pent up fucking testosterone left in him.
No doubt you'd go into the change rooms at lunch, you'd be having a quick little kip with his fucking toasted sandwich on his fucking lap or something.
Probably. He's probably a good little fucking napper, eh?
Have his own little corner, Warney's corner or something. Find a nice little secluded corner away from everyone. That's my spot. Leave it alone. And I don't think anyone would care. Everyone would be like, yes, Warney, that's your spot.
He's got the statue outside the MCG. I forgot about that. I've seen it too.
Yeah, the statue at the MCG.
Pretty sure I've seen it. I think when he retired, they started erecting that.
Yep. See,
I like his best ever performance was at the Gabba. 8 for 71.
8 for 71 at the Gabba. Yep. But see, like Warney wasn't just a magnificent cricketer. He was a very charitable bloke as well. Out of cricket.
Yeah.
All the stuff he did for charities and everything like that was just like he auctioned off his baggy green, the one thing that an Australian cricketer aspires to have. He auctioned it off for the bushfires.
Yeah, what a man.
Like,
what a fucking man.
If I had a baggy green, that'd be framed. That would not be touched. If I, I would never let anyone touch it. But he's just like, yeah, let's go. Let's auction it off. All the money can go to the bushfire.
Do you remember it being something, though? He had another one. He sold the original, but he had like a replacement one for when his original one first busted out or something like that.
Yeah, but this was his original. This was the one he got handed.
The original one, yeah.
Yeah,
it sold for something ridiculous too, wasn't it? $401,000.
Yeah, to an executive of the Commonwealth Bank.
Yeah, who cares?
Like,
that's cricket in general, though, isn't it? Like, you think it's it's like the poor man's sport, but it's like this cunt's always so high out there and fucking heaps of cash that just fucking love it, bro.
The funny thing is, when he announced it, Commonwealth Bank jumped on and said, we will match every single dollar. So one of the executives of the Commonwealth Bank went, I'm buying that. I don't care how much it's going to cost the bank. I'm buying that.
He didn't give a fuck. Old mate just wanted it.
Yeah.
I want to have Warney's fucking
Commonwealth
hat.
Bank. Fuck the Commonwealth Bank. They could put fucking $401,000 or whatever it is into it.
They probably said we'll definitely fucking match it as long as it's up to $500,000. He goes, I guess I'll buy it at $500,000.
Yeah. Still like, and like all the stuff that he did for like there's a lot of third world country stuff that he did. A lot of trips to India, Nepal, all of that to help grow cricket. As a sport. It's just unreal as well.
What a man.
He found like the amount of talent that he could pick as well was just unreal. Like you wouldn't see someone bowl and he's like, oh, I saw him bowl over in India back in the day, rah. And it's like, holy shit, right? And then comes in and he's just this magnificent bowler. It's like, wow, okay. Yep. He's got an eye for talent.
Yeah, he could fucking see it from a mile away, bro. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Man. That's what I mean. He could have easily been a selector at some stage or another.
Yeah. But nah, it was a shock. It was a shock.
Shock, mate. It's like losing a mate.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like losing a friend. It's not like losing a close mate or something. It's like you lost a friend. Like you lost someone that you just was always going to be there. He's always there. Same party you're going to, like, which is just cricket. He was always there.
Yeah. I think the world of Australian cricket, or just Australian cricket itself, has been marred by like 3 heavy deaths in the last 10 years, 15 years.
Yeah.
And every time that's happened, it's like you've lost a mate. Like Phil Hughes, when he passed away, it was like, holy shit. You know, someone can die from playing cricket.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I remember that happening.
Like, opened everyone's eyes up to how brutal a sport cricket can be. Rod Marsh passed away Friday, 12 hours before Shane Warne passed away. He put up a fucking condolence message for Rod Marsh and his family. And
that was his last ever tweet sort of thing. His last ever thing he publicly spoke about was that.
Yeah. Like last message he sent out was good night to his family, and that he ordered 2 suits. He ordered a brand new suit and 2 masseuses to come up in the morning.
Yeah.
His mates walked through the door to go, oh, let's go down, let's have some food or something. And he was on the ground.
Yeah, Hardies are like that, eh? They're one of those things that can get you. I'm probably considering going in for a fucking cardio checkup, cardiologist.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do have family history of certain cardio issues. Like my granddad's had a pacemaker since he was 30. I'm nearly 30, so I probably should go on and have a look. And if any of the Beard and the Bird listeners, because of that, maybe go in and just talk to your local cardiologist or local doctor and try to get a heart book up.
Yeah.
And everyone have a look to see how your heart condition's going. And on that note, thank you so much for listening, guys. I know there was a bit of a somber one. I know there was a bit of just a remembering sort of a podcast. It wasn't something we planned on. This is something very spare at the moment. But I mean, obviously, as you can tell, we're in shock, and it happened so randomly out of nowhere. Like, it wasn't like he was particularly old. He was only 52. So we thought we'd dedicate an episode to, because we're massive cricket nuts, we'd just dedicate an episode to one of the greatest cricketers we'll ever see all time. Yeah. And it happened to have a very big influence on my cricketing career and love of cricket as well. A lot of it was to do with Warney. So cheers, Warney. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate. Rest in peace. Condolences to the family.
Thank you so much for all you did for cricket and the world at large, and for everyone.
Yeah, mate.
Thank you guys for listening. We'll be on the next week. Next week will be a little bit more upbeat, maybe. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Peace out from the Beard and the Bird. Much love. True.
Yeah.
Got him! There it is! Wicket number 700! And they can't catch him. Shane Warne through the gate as Scott Strauss.